All right, so this story is insane. French woman here leaves millionaire husband, so she divorces her husband. What does she do next? She falls in love with Brad Pitt. Now, obviously, if you're looking at these photos, you can recognize a scam when you see one, right? Not this guy. Well, he's probably a scammer too. So these are the photos right here, man. These were the photos she was getting from Brad Pitt's alleged hospital bed where he was being treated for cancer. So she sends, I know here they probably rounded it off to 1 mil. I think it was like closer to like $800,000, which is basically $1 million. So she sent this money to who she believes is Brad Pitt as she is falling in love with him. And she gets scammed out of everything. Here's what's insane. That's all the money that she got from her divorce settlement.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
So what next? It's gone. That's what's next. And when the publication that shared this story began running this story, she was getting so much hate and bullying, like, hey, how could you not see that these were fake, that they just decided to stop sharing and talking about this altogether. Now, this is a message to all my Gen Xers. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to say to all my Gen Xers. I'm going to say if you know of a Gen Xer, and I'm not talking about the ones who are on the younger age bracket, right? But you know, the ones who are heading over towards 60, late 50s. I'm not trying to age shame you here. I'm just saying they have a difficult time being able to determine the AI from the real life. Listen, this is not a shot. I'm not here trying to clown on anybody. I'm just saying when you get a proposal sent to you by AI from Brad Pitt, there are certain, I heard a comedian actually explain this in a way that made perfect sense. He was talking about how your mom will send you these memes like, hey, did you know they found Bigfoot in Whole Foods? And he'll say, Mom, it's not real. And her response will be, how do you know? How did you know this was not real? And he's trying to explain to her, like, it's the text, it's the lighting, it's all these different parts and elements of the photo. I can't put this knowledge in you. This is from being exposed to real and fake photos my whole life, spending years on the computer. And you don't realize that if you can tell when something's fake or not. You've been trained through video games, through television. You know, you can recognize the bad or good CGI. But there's a generation that really cannot. I'll put myself out there. My mom sends me stuff sometimes and I'll be like, Mom, this is fake. This is fake. No, they're not doing magic right in front of your eyes. All this is fake, you know? All right, so here are the photos, a bunch of text here, and here's a little bit more about what was going on in this situation.
Brad Pitt and his romance with a woman in France, or at least she thought she was having a romance with Brad Pitt. It was not the Brad Pitt, but she has a lot of photos of Brad Pitt that made her decide that she wanted to help him out financially.
By the way, if you think
this is a scam victim that...
If you think you've heard this story before, this is going to go to another level in a second. So
when
just
you understand what she did. This woman in France believed that she was having an online interaction with Brad Pitt. And the person, the scammer who was interacting with her, was sending photos of Brad Pitt saying, I'm in the hospital. Her name is Anne. Anne, I love you. I need help with my medical bills. And
crazy.
You go, well, if you're the woman,
you're Brad Pitt,
if you're Brad Pitt, how come you don't have money?
Right.
He had an answer for that. He said, all my money is tied up in this divorce battle with Angelina, where we're, in France, it's a very well-known thing, obviously, that there's a castle they co-own there. This was a big thing in their divorce.
Still, by the way, that's still going on.
Castle part of it.
They're fighting over this winery they've got.
Yes. And so that was the explanation for why he needed money.
Think about that for a second, though. Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie have been in a divorce dispute now for how long? Hold on. Miss Coffee, when did Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie get divorced, and how long has their divorce dispute been going on?
Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie's divorce was finalized on April 12, 2019. But their legal disputes, particularly over child custody and financial matters, have continued well beyond that date. Timeline of divorce and disputes. Separation filing. Angelina Jolie filed for divorce on September 19, 2016.
Okay, 16 to 19, 3 years going back and forth there.
Citing irreconcilable differences. Finalized divorce. The couple's divorce was legally finalized on April 12, 2019, granting them single status, but the terms of the divorce were not fully resolved. Ongoing disputes. The custody battle over their 6 children has been a significant source of contention. Financial and property disputes, including the ownership of their French estate and winery, Chateau Miraval, have prolonged their legal battles. Duration of the dispute. From the time Jolie filed for divorce in 2016, the legal disputes have been ongoing for over 8 years, as of 2025.
Wow. 8 years. 8 years. These are the nightmare stories that really push a lot of people away from ever even considering marriage. And I don't blame you, right? Especially if you've been through this before. And gentlemen, if you're crazy enough, and even some of the women, I see you guys in there enrolling into the #1 guide to drafting a solid and legally binding prenuptial agreement. Hey, the women, they don't ask for prenups, right? Women tell men that they're going to get prenups. But head over there. Head over there and get the free guide. It's free right now with offer code REVIEW, and that's at fathershaverights.com. Let's keep listening.
Not only did she send him more than $800,000, but you may go, where did she get that $800,000?
She divorced her husband, and that is part of the property settlement. The husband had millions of dollars. She used her property settlement in the divorce to send money to fake Brad Pitt.
So when was the jig up here? When did she go, wait a second? It was when she saw photos of Brad Pitt with the real Brad Pitt with his real life girlfriend, Inez.
Bro.
And they were out at an event. She happened to see these photos and thought,
he looks healthy and not destitute.
He's not in the hospital. And he's with some woman who's not me.
Okay. When you really think about this, is this really confusing or hard to take in? It's not. All you got to do is ask yourself, how many times do I report? Do you see so many other channels report on women who jump straight out of marriages who, in most cases, because we know 75% of the time, 70 to 80% of the time, women initiate divorce. And they jump out of those marriages because they think they deserve better and actually think that they will find better. Like, really think about it. The fact that a woman can leave a divorce and see a picture of Brad Pitt in a proposal and not ask, why do I deserve this? Why do I deserve this? What have I done? Who am I? Really isn't that surprising when you realize that modern women believe they're the table and who they are, their age, their weight, how pleasant they are doesn't matter. They just deserve it. They just deserve the world regardless of what they do. And when you start to realize that there are a bunch of chicks who walk around thinking that way, then you can probably bet that we're going to see a lot more of these scams. AI just made its appearance not too long ago. Most modern women today truly believe, and you can't tell them otherwise, that the men who they let clap the cheeks or that they entertained sexually were potential husbands. They don't know that those men were running game. They don't understand how this works. So this makes sense that she would sit there, a modern woman would sit there after initiating a divorce and going, Brad Pitt, of course. I'm amazing. Right? I'm amazing.
Okay, there's that. But Charles, let's back up for a second because you said the scammer sent her photos. These photos are those cartoonishly AI, poorly
Yes.
photoshopped pictures of Brad Pitt with perfect hair smiling in a hospital bed. Who
This is
falls for
hilarious.
this? You know, you get these emails and these texts, these scams.
This is the Gen Xers. I'm not talking about the whole generation here. I'm just saying there's a certain particular, you got to study these. You got to know. I need to look out for this.
You think, who in the world would fall for that? Now we know. Even, she saw him with another woman. He's been out in public for months. Like, he's not in the hospital. He's not having a kidney transplant or whatever.
It's alarming.
I actually feel very badly for her.
Oh, I feel terrible for
because it's easy for us to look at it and go like, oh, that's obvious. You're right, Eric. I mean, those images
It's easy for anybody to look at it and do that. But
yeah,
because also the reason how this all started was because someone claiming to be Brad Pitt's mother reached out to her on Facebook. First alarm right there, saying, you'd be perfect for my son. Who believes that?
Yeah.
A delusional woman who doesn't rank herself appropriately in the dating market. Women can laugh at this and go, who believes that? She's dumb. She's stupid. When you fall for this, you're in and you're out with the top percent of men who you think you deserve. And you haven't sat down and gone, you know what? Maybe that guy over there at the coffee pod is right. Maybe the guy who's making six figures or almost $1 million and he has those different chicks, maybe I'm just a part of his rotation. Am I just a piece in this game that he's playing? No, they'll never come to that conclusion. And they'll look at this and go, she's an idiot, while they are sitting there getting played themselves. Am I making sense? Are you guys following me? Let's read a few more comments here and see what other people had to say. Top comment here says, plot twist. The ex-husband is the scammer to recoup the money he lost in the divorce settlement. I've actually heard that a few times. That's hilarious. That would be really funny. Somebody else responded back and says, why was I thinking the same thing? He got it back. The laughing emoji. Here's another person who says, nah, the picture's in the middle of the surgery. Yeah, he's there with a smolder look, staring at the camera like he's in a movie set. Now, I've never gone through this, and God bless anybody right now who's fighting cancer. And I don't think anybody who's going through such a tragic situation, his hair looks that well put together, so on and so forth. Another person here says, I can't believe people fall for this. Yeah, okay, Laura. How many times have you fallen for the non-celebrity version of this? You following me here? Here's somebody else who says the surgery pic. Another person who says the surgery one is insane. The delusion is scary. Right. You would fall for Beyonce. Chill. Stop it. You know, that's something you can't say about men. Men know very quickly when something that's way out of their league is trying to reach out to them. They know very quickly. They can tell, like, you're not here for me. You have an agenda in mind. They know because they go their whole lives facing reality without it being presented or sugar-coated in any form or fashion.